Alright, so this is my big trip to Norway. It was my first time visiting, and I wanted to share my journey with you guys. And I just want to say a big thank you to Snorre and Ida, Vega and Hordem Reif, Runa and Slagmar, Dodds Admiral, the people at Rockheim, Shalva and his family, Håvard Jorgensen, Apollyon and Afra for making this such a cool journey. It was really one of the best holidays and best places I've ever visited, and I just want to thank you guys for such a cool experience. But we're going to start off with part 1 in Trondheim. The day after, I went for a quick little walk and saw this lovely little park with a nice building behind it. And then Snorre and we went to Nidarosdomen, which is the big cathedral featured on the De Mysteriis Dom Satanas album cover, and it's fantastic when you go there. And I just want to say, apologies in advance for really bad filming, but here you go, this is what it's like inside. So here's some other pictures of inside Nidarosdomen and a little bit on the outside as well. And I love all of the saints on the outside, and you can see the gargoyles and stuff. And it's just a very, very, very beautiful cathedral, and it's just amazing to see up close. Also in Trondheim, I saw one of the craziest music collections I've ever seen in my life. And a big thanks to Jørgen Rodleaf, there's just some really amazing things there. Also hung out a lot with Blackthorn, just played a lot of guitar, he showed me his synths and stuff, it was really cool. And we also hung out with Vegard as well. So Snorre was asked to do some vocals for the upcoming Slagmar album, and we were on the way to Fosen. And I just want to show you guys the Norwegian scenery around the Trondheim area, because it's just absolutely fantastic. I might even go as far to say that Norway is the most beautiful country I've ever visited when it comes to the landscape and the scenery and the nature. It's just so cool. I can't really put it into many words, but it's very inspiring. So here's a little bit of Snorre and Døds Admiral just getting set up for the vocal recordings, which you'll be able to hear on Slagmar's next album. So here's some cool walking shots, and just wanted to show you more of this place because it's so peaceful. Lots of green trees, lots of water as well. It's very, very peaceful being there until you get to the vocal recordings and the black metal. Yeah, so I'm back here again, but this time at night. If the camera's a bit shaky, that's okay because I don't have a gimbal, but I thought it'd be cool to show you guys more of this place, and I don't know, maybe share some thoughts of Norway so far. It is my first time here, and I've really enjoyed Norway. It's been a really, really cool adventure. Lots of mountains, forest, trees, the things we associate with black metal, of course, and it's just a really, really nice vibe, especially here in Trondheim. The next part of the journey is Oslo, which should be really, really cool. And yeah, it's my last evening here, and yeah, for the people who have not visited Trondheim or the Nidarosdomen yet, I think this will be quite cool. Cameras and pictures never really do this place any justice. It's so much more impressive and beautiful up in person. I believe it's the most northern Gothic cathedral, the most northern Gothic cathedral, and it's a real work of art, and it's just fantastic to be around here. It's all ornate, all of the etching is intricate, and it's just huge. It's completely towering. Because being in the wind's picking up. Because being in East Asia, you see a lot of Buddhist temples, which are really cool. Some do have this level of grandeur, especially the one on Jeju Island. That place is super cool. And then you've also got some really lovely temples in Kyoto and Nara, and that's pretty dope. But it's a different kind of appreciation and art for old Gothic cathedrals like this. And I'm not sure if it's coming across very clearly, but I'll zoom in as best as I can. But each one of these saints is different, and the little gargoyles are also all different as well. I'm not a videographer, I'm just some YouTuber that makes videos on a music genre that no one listens to. Well, no one in the greater world really listens to. But it's definitely worth visiting Trondheim just for this cathedral. If you want to do that black metal pilgrimage and see all the hot spots, this one's definitely up there. And it's a really nice place to be as well. All these odd gravestones and stuff. I don't know, maybe my commentary is really boring. Yeah, that spire is just iconic. There is this kind of sense and feeling, I guess, that if you go to Norway, black metal makes a bit more sense, And it kind of does. But then it also makes more sense to me, even more now than ever, that black metal is more of a music genre than it is some kind of spiritual religious experience that a lot of people seem to associate with this kind of music. I guess it's very easy for impressionable people to think more of something and then get too sucked in. Yeah, it never gets old. Looking at this, maybe I'd feel a bit different if I grew up here and it was just part of the scenery, but being a tourist also has its advantages. Tomorrow is the trip to Oslo and the last morning here, and it should be a cool one. This is a painting of a cat, and this is Rockheim, a music museum in Trondheim. We were fortunate enough to be given a guided tour around the museum, and it's fascinating. And on top of this, there's so much history on Norwegian music. There's even a call for Thunderbird there. You've got an Emperor art piece there, and in furnaces, Gibson Flying V. So that's quite cool.
I remember sitting a lot in this chair. On this sofa. I've been probably.
This whole room is actually an attempt to recreate the I don't know if it was the first rehearsal location, but one of the first rehearsal locations. So Mayhem, they rehearsed in a chicken house. That was a little bit like this. And most of the things here we have gotten from Neseblod. Yeah, like the sofa and
So this is the sofa.
Yeah.
And the fridge.
Yeah. And on TV, that's a recording of the rehearsal from 1989.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we have also the first Mayhem banner there.
Oh, cool.
Back in the day.
But this microphone stand is from Satir?
Yeah. This microphone stand is from Satir, and we have the broken bass guitar there is Abbat, Immortal.
Oh.
So you can see it on the early Immortal videos.
No way, that's the bass on like the Blusher, Mighty Raven Dark and all that stuff.
That's correct. It's a little bit broken, but
what happened to it?
How did it break? I don't know why it broke, but we got this like this from him. And the bass amplifier there is also from Neseblod Records. And I think the greatest thing in this room is the drum kit. It was the drum kit Jan Axel Hellemer. He used it for Mysterious Dom Satanas, and also for he lent it out to person have used it, and Enslaved have used it. But after a while he sold it to Frost in Satyricon, and Frost he used it up until the Satyricon album. So it's
right, because that's one thing I was really wondering, like what happened to the kit, but this is actually it, and it's here.
Yeah.
Because I heard the rumor that Frost bought the drum kit, and I didn't know what happened to it next.
Yeah.
And that chair, was it used in the Satyricon photo?
No, it's from Emperor Anthem's album.
Yes.
You see it in the music video for the Reverence video. They sit on the chair.
Yeah.
They use it on the back cover there.
Oh, that's so cool.
And we have the guitars here. This is Ishan's.
Yeah.
It's an ESP, and we also have the PV.
Yeah, I remember using those at like odd rehearsals. I had no idea that Isan used to use them in Emperor.
I've never seen him use it, but I guess we used it back in the day. And another cool thing with this room is we have these tapes.
And they're all real, legit tapes, or they're replicas?
No, they are absolutely replicas. But
okay.
If I, for example, choose Thorns, I put it in here, put it down, and then things start happening on the screen there.
Oh fuck yeah.
Get some information, and then we get the music video.
chromatic stuff. It's always like trying to twist the order of songs in more interesting ways. And Sigurd was like, so it's just one riff, is it that good that you can just use it and use it
Yeah.
and use it? But people like it. So.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I really like that kind of hypnoticness
Yeah.
as well.
The lack of competence, the lack of gear, and all the cheap stuff we used to make music. Now I'm like, oh my god, we did that.
Yeah.
But it works out, and it's like my cartoon did a really good job mixing this, I think. But on the new album here we have like proper amps and proper drums and proper bass, because there's no bass guitar on this album, it's just a synthesizer bass.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I
didn't know that.
I
had no idea.
It's a digital synthesizer, it's a good one, but I don't have a bass, so I just program the bass line and try to make a bassist sound of the synthesizer, and it kind of suffers a little from it, I think, but it gets its own aesthetic.
That's I had no idea the whole time.
No,
Same here.
Yeah.
But obviously it worked. Yeah.
Maybe wanted a more full bass sound, but it became what it became. So, and like people tell me, it's like just release it, because if it isn't perfect by you, still it is the blueprint for how it should be.
And just to finish up the Trondheim arc, here's some photos. So that's Infernus's Flying V, the Emperor artwork, the Mayhem rehearsal, the Satyricon mic stand and Abbott Space, the De Mysterium Satanas drum kit, the special tapes in the museum, Mayhem's first banner, and Isan's shoulder pads from the Lost and Curse of Reverence video. And just to finish up, here's a great pic of me and Snorter. After landing in Oslo, I went for a little walk to the Opera House and just wanted to chill for a bit before tomorrow's adventures. The Munch Museum. This was one of the coolest art displays I've ever seen. All of the paintings are so intricate, and there's this real texture to the painting as well. It's not super ornate like a Rembrandt, it's more chaotic, and I really enjoyed the art pieces here. They're so evocative, they really get you thinking. It's so much better than the National Gallery here in London, for example. One reason why I wanted to go here is to see Dødskamp, which was the art piece that inspired the song by 1349, but unfortunately it wasn't on display, but there were some other really exciting death themed artworks here. And here is a room full of huge works by Munch. It's absolutely fascinating. And here's a few pics from my phone. Definitely check this place out if you're in Oslo. I would highly recommend it. Like, first place to visit. And the reason why I recommend this first is because it's closer to Oslo Central than Neseblod Records, which is where the old Helvet store was. And that's what we're going to check out now. Yep, so this is the famous basement of Helvete underneath Neseblod Records, and it's a very interesting feeling when you're in there, just the amount of history and what came from the place. And the record store itself is insane. There's so much stuff, so much memorabilia, and full of extremely rare artifacts from the early days of black metal. And there's even extremely rare CDs and vinyls and tapes you can get here. There's some sections that have signed vinyls as well that you can find, and this has pretty much 99.9% of all extreme metal releases in here somewhere. But enjoy all the memorabilia, it's really cool. So here's some pictures of Neseblod from my phone. It's an amazing place. Every black metal fan should go here at least once. So much cool stuff. And after that it was time to head back to the centre of Oslo. I visited a nice church, and then it was time to meet Andre Schalve, the original 1349 guitarist, because he runs a podcast called The Nerdatorium, and I was asked to jump on it. And that was really cool. It's not often where I talk about like video games and cool stuff, so expect the episode to come out soon, if not out already by the time this video goes live. It was quite a surreal feeling being in Nerdatorium headquarters, because there's so many interesting consoles there. Not even just consoles, interesting toys and artifacts and VHSs, and some of the toys there are still in the wrappers, and it was amazing because it brought me back to a bit of a time when I was a child, before online retailers were a thing. You had to go to a shop and you're surrounded by toys, and it was just endless here. Not only just toys, but there were video games, consoles, games themselves, things which are still sealed, and it's a fabulous place to be. And here's a scenic shot of Norway. After paying my respects to Euronymous, I finally tried 1349's beer, and I'm telling you straight up, it will get you fucked up. It's 13.49%, and it's really strong. And whilst I was a bit tipsy, I went to go see some boats at the Fram Museum. I definitely recommend this. It's really interesting learning about polar exploration. And then after that, I admired a Norwegian fjord, and then it was time to meet Håvard Jorgensen, and we had a quick drink, and I also met Afra as well, and we just hung out that night. And the next day was another cool day hanging out with Shalva, and we just jammed out, played some music, and here's some riffs for you guys. And later that day, Apollyon and I hung out, and I got one of the hardest photos of all time. That's Apollyon playing Time Crisis 2, dope as hell. After meeting Apollyon, I hung out with Afra again. There's no photos of us together or nothing really from that night out, but the day after we hung out, saw some cool spots, went back to Neseblod, went back to the Munch Museum, and yeah, it was just a really cool day out. And that was pretty much my last day in Oslo. And as you can see here, there's some pictures from my flights going home, and as soon as I landed in England, Gatwick Airport smelled like piss.